Thank you very much, sir, for wishing us all the women in general on the Women's Day. We would now progress with our first speaker, uh, Ms. Shreya Nelugal. She has been working as an associate director, pharmacovigilance, India, China, and Korea with Abbott Healthcare Private Limited. Shreya has completed her bachelor's in pharmacy from SPB College of Pharmacy, University of Mumbai, and further she pursued her postgraduate diploma in clinical research from Bombay College of Pharmacy. She has got a 20 years of career in clinical research, including big names such as BA Pharmaceuticals. She has a career spanning from 2014 to 2020 in BA Pharmaceuticals, and she has looked after Southeast Asian countries such as Brunei, Nepal, India, etc. From January 2020 till date, she has been associated with Abbott Healthcare Private Limited in the capacity of Associate Director for Pharmacovigilance, India, China, and Korea. Her job profile includes management of resources, regulations and guidelines, compliances, audits, and inspections. It also includes training, pharmacovigilance, quality system, etc. She has been actively participating in clinical trials in different areas such as oncology, rheumatology, nutraceuticals, ophthalmology, endocrinology, as well as in the clinical trials for medical devices and some cosmetics as well. So let us welcome Dr. Ms. Shreya Nelugal, Associate Director, Pharmacovigilance, India, China, and Korea, to give us her talk.
Hello, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Are you able to see my screen now?
Yes, madam. Now we can see your screen.
Is in slide mode?
Yes, it is visible.
Perfect. So my topic for today is like pharmacovigilance in modern pharma industry. And here, like before I start my presentation, I would like to provide this disclaimer that this presentation is mainly intended for educational purpose only and does not replace independent professional judgment. So whatever the opinion over here is my opinion and not of my organization opinion. So based on my 20 years of experience in various industry like clinical operations, pharmacovigilance, and across, the world, like mainly Singapore, Malaysia, Brunei, India, and on that, I will share some insight of pharmacovigilance with you today. Let's begin with some basics, of pharmacovigilance. You must be knowing like pharmacovigilance is a Latin, it's a Greek word. So if we just, segregate this word like pharmakon, which is in Greek is a drug, and vigilance means to keep a watch. So in short, like, whenever drug is in market or before it comes into the market, when it is in the clinical trial phase, so we mainly look into the detection, assessment, understanding, and prevention of any adverse events which come across, during the journey of the drug in the world. So when it has started, when we look into the history before 1961, there was no pharmacovigilance, there were no guidelines, regulations in place. It was only, like the drug used to be marketed for particular indication, and sometimes people used to have it for other indications as well. If you can look into thalidomide incidence, like you can see, like in 1956, this thalidomide was used as a mild sleeping pill. It was registered or marketed for mild sleeping pill. But some of the doctors, they have prescribed, this to pregnant women for morning sickness. And this has ended that there were major limb malformations have been observed in children during, the duration of 1950s and 1960s. And then they have realized like, yes, there is a need of some regulations, or there is a need of some guidance to pharma industry wherein, these side effects needs to be evaluated in detail. And then this pharmacovigilance journey has started. So how does pharmacovigilance work? Like you can see, I have used the terminology PV. Usually in, our world, like we use a short form like PV, pharmacovigilance. There are two types of industries mainly. One is like Indian pharma companies are there, and one are like multinational companies. So if we look into multinational companies, they have, some units based in other countries, like, medicines, or the analysis team is over, in Europe, and their working PV team, the face to the company is based in other countries. So, they have to coordinate, but they have a central system at one place, maybe in Europe or US, or they may have some hub somewhere. But in Indian companies, they have their entire unit in India, and sometimes they also work for other countries as well. So these are like two different sets of companies in India. Currently, we have. Previously, it has been observed like pharmacovigilance department was well established in MNCs. But then afterwards, like our DCGI, that is our health authority, has become vigilant. They have come up with some regulations, and they have asked, every pharma company should have this pharmacovigilance department. So then, this pharmacovigilance activities have started working in pharma companies. So what all activities they perform? I will just quickly take you through. So you must be reporting adverse event. One or the other time, you also must have faced some side effect of the drugs. So once you report those side effects to doctors, either doctor reported to sales team reported to their respective pharmacovigilance team in the company. There are other modes as well, from where, this pharmacovigilance team received the information, safety information of the drugs from market, from various channels, which I will take you through afterwards. So if we look into these four buckets, first one is AE reporting related activities. It means like adverse event reporting. PV, that is pharmacovigilance teams, collects that product safety information throughout the product's life cycle. So it doesn't mean like only, the drug is marketed, then only 4 years you have to observe the side effects of the drug. No, you have to observe it throughout the journey of the product. Then the dedicated medical expert team is there, who analyze and they provide the safety expertise based on, the information available, and they provide the benefit risk assessment of the drug. Then there is a risk management activity. What does it mean by risk management? It means like, the benefit risk information, what we have received, based on that, every company, they have their risk minimization plan. Health authority do check, they approve the risk minimization plan, they ensure that there should be a minimum risk at patient level. The safety monitoring continues throughout the life cycle of the product, and whatever information, safety information is available, you used to see it is on package leaflet. So in the product, you can see the package leaflet where this information receives from the pharmacovigilance department. So you can understand how important this function is, right? And this information is publicly communicated via this department. Yeah, so that may be, this is how PV creates a two-way flow. It means the information comes from patient to the company evaluates, because they do have the entire information of the product. They assess benefit risk information, and then they provide that information to the patient. This is how the flow of, the safety information in pharma industry. When I talk about, adverse event reporting, what does it mean? What does it mean by adverse event reporting? So it is like, the minimum information which we usually like to have when we ask for the adverse event reports from the market. First is like, there should be identifiable patient, right, who has experienced that adverse event. There should be identifiable reporter, means who is reporting. The person should be authentic person, right? Whether it is a doctor, whether it is a nurse, whether it is a pharmacist, or whether it is a patient himself or his relative. So the reporter should be identifiable. Otherwise, there might be a risk of receiving a fake information from the market. Then identifiable product, of course, by which drug the reaction has occurred, and an event. So these are like 4 basic informations which we ask, anybody to report it to pharmacovigilance department in the organization. There are serious adverse events which needs to be reported on immediate basis, like death or life-threatening event, inpatient hospitalization, or prolongation of existing hospitalization, persistent or significant disability, congenital anomaly, or medically significant events. So these are all serious adverse events. And apart from that, you may think like, oh, only side effects needs to be reported, but that's not true. Apart from that, there are certain special situations. So what are considered as special situations which you as individual should be able to understand, so that you can inform your students as well as you can take care of it in day-to-day activity. So exposure via parent. So, the pregnant female, there you can see on some of the medicines, it is very clearly mentioned, this drug is not supposed to be used in pregnant female. And if by incidence, by accident, if this had happened, then this needs to be reported so that the company can ensure that the baby is safe, there is no event, there is no harm to the baby. So they have to, check it till birth of baby. The lack of drug effect. For example, you are taking medicine for 2 weeks, but still there is no use. There is no, effect of it. So that needs to be reported. Otherwise, how pharma company will be able to understand, right? So pre-existing condition, improvise. So this is something nice, like, something unexpected therapeutic benefit is there. That also needs to be reported. Overdose, doctor has asked to take 1 tablet and patient has taken 2-3 tablets, and because of that some event occurred. So that also needs to be reported. Medication error, yes. Suspected transmission of an infectious agent via product. Drug misuse, drug abuse, and drug dependency. So these are all various categories which we have to also consider. Those needs to be reported to pharma companies as a special situation. And how soon? Like within 24 hours of awareness, it would be better, so that they can take action immediately. They can check, they can confirm, and also your treating doctor can, update or provide you proper medicine on real-time basis. So let's, test your knowledge. Let's make it a bit interactive. A woman broke her leg skiing while she was on product A. Is this reportable to PV? What do you think? You can type your answer. Professor Geeta, can you just help me?
Yeah, sure. People, you have to type the answer so that I can read it out to the speaker. Most of them are saying no.
Ah, okay. See, you can see here, she was on product A. So if something goes wrong after taking that medicine, some dizziness is there, or something wrong has gone with the patient or that person, and that's the reason she might have broke her leg. You don't know, you are assuming that she has broken her leg due to some accident, but it may true, it may not be true. It's a dicey situation. So it's better to report it to PV. PV means now here you don't have the contact details of PV sometimes. So you can report it to your doctor. Something has gone wrong with the patient after taking medicine. A woman using product A found out that she is pregnant. Should this be reported?
Yes. Yes, we have a mixed response here. Most of them are saying yes.
Yes. So see, there are two chances. If on the product it is clearly mentioned that this drug should not be used or this is harmful for pregnant female, and if she has used, then yes, definitely it needs to be reported so that we can check and we can evaluate it further. So yes. Now let's see how pharmacovigilance system is. This is for you to understand the modern pharma industry, a topic what we have. So if we look into 2007, in pharma companies, only spontaneous case handling, ACE handling in clinical trials, or line listing. Line listing means or whatever adverse event you have received so far or issues which you have faced, only those reporting mechanism was there in pharma companies. But now, as our health authority or regulations have become stringent, you can see the changes. These are various activities which pharma companies daily basis do. This is like continuous monitoring of the events. Yes, we do also check for signals. If there are any safety signals, there are periodic safety update reports, so that at periodic level, we prepare a report of a drug and we submit it to our health authority. I will also quickly take you through PSUR if time permits, how it looks. And apart from that, there are various activities which pharma companies do. If you are interested to know, we can discuss it afterwards as well. So there are major four pillars of any country pharmacovigilance activities. One is like PV governance and oversight. Another is like single case management, product regulatory safety management, because whatever safety information you receive, you also have to manage your regulatory authority. And not only to your internal staff, but also for the vendors or the clinical trials which you run through other companies. So everyone should be aware, like if any adverse event is there, that needs to be reported to a pharmacovigilance company so that they can take further action. Then you have to integrate PV processes into various business activities, because safety information or the profile is very core from product journey point of view. Otherwise, you may end health authority. So that's the reason it is very important. You also should have oversight management. That is, if some department or somebody is reporting events, whether they have reported it on time or not. And then case managements, like various sources through which you receive the cases, and those needs to be evaluated. There are various programs like patient support programs, there are market research programs. Nowadays, we also have social medias, right? On social medias, we may post about any event. Like for example, any company has put some drug as an advertisement on social media, and somebody has already used it, and they put that comment like, this has some side effect. I have observed some side effects. So somebody has to monitor that as well, right? So that comes under single case management. And then regulatory and safety management, it means like, you may have to also face sometimes audits, inspections from your health authority. Then local SOPs you have to develop, because whatever processes you are doing, those needs to be properly documented. In our clinical research world, we usually call it like, like if it is not documented, it is considered as not done. So you should have proper processes in place. And apart from that, one important factor is external stakeholder management, which is like, various distributors are there, vendors are there, health authorities, you have to manage that. So these are various pillars. So whenever any student may come to you and ask about, any guidance where in the pharma company, this is one of the grooming field, I can say, as a pharmacovigilance field. And these are like various internal pillars of PV activities, which you are now aware of. If you would like to give guidance to your students or any other member, maybe your kids, maybe, any relatives who would like to join pharma industry. So, as I have already told, training of pharmacovigilance is very important, which companies do for company employees as well as external partners. So this is another department which, people who would like to train or in academically they are strong, they can also consider this as one of the field for their future. So these kind of trainings might be face to face for newcomers, or for the existing employees, they have to consider refresher trainings on annual basis. So pharmacovigilance always considered as a strategic partner for the company because it provides safety and benefit risk assessment information to the stakeholders. So yes, there are various sponsored social media activities or market research programs or call centers, hotline centers through where, you may collate the information, and hence, pharmacovigilance is very important that you should have a good connections with other departments as well in the organization. So I'm not so sure whether you will be able to answer this, but let's see, like based on the following activities, please identify which ones have potential to receive adverse event from consumers or patients or doctors. There may be, more than one right answer. You can just give your guess.
Participants, we're expecting answers from you. You can just write as A, B, C, D, whatever is the probable answer, so that we can communicate to the speaker.
Are we answers?
No, we are not getting any answers, but according to me, it could be B and C.
Yes, you are right. So patient, hotline service started for a patient support program. So usually, companies also have some support systems or support programs for patients. For example, oncology, cancer patients, they, provide some drugs in some discount. So in those programs, relatives might have n number of questions looking into, the disease condition. So for that, they do have a hotline service wherein anybody can call anytime. And there are high chances during the discussion, they may tell like patient was having rashes or, anything. So there is a chance like you may receive adverse event via that hotline service. Another is like booth setup at train station for product samples to be given out to the public. For example, you are giving any, free samples at station, and that time somebody can, convey to you like, I have taken X product of your company and, I have faced something, experienced some adverse events. So there are chances. So it's a two-way kind of communication. And that's the reason I have considered and setting up a Facebook page. So Facebook page, like anybody can put any comment on that if we put that comment option on. So that's the reason you also have to take care of certain, parameters while collecting the information. I will quickly also, tell you about how our Indian Health Authority is. It's a complicated structure, but still, like, I will try to make it simpler for you. So Government of India, we do have Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and under that we are having Central Drug Standard Control Organization, that is CDSCO. This CDSCO and DCGI, these are the ones who provides approvals to our products for any clinical trials, any safety concerns they have, they release, they publish it, and to the pharma companies, they may come for any kind of inspection. Under this DCGI, they also have a program, which is a guidance one. In beginning of my session, I have told you there are two kinds of industries over here. One is MNC, another is Indian pharma companies. Initially, Indian pharma companies, they were not having pharmacovigilance system in place, but this pharmacovigilance program of India, that is PVPI, they have provided guidance documents to these companies. And based on that, these companies were able to now establish their pharmacovigilance department. So this PVPI is at Ghaziabad and DCGI office is at New Delhi. So the thing is, like, in our Indian Health Authority organization, there is a bit complexity for pharma companies to manage. I'm just giving you a glimpse of two examples. One is like periodic safety update report submission. So it is expected to be submitted to the Health Authority, that is DCGI, which is our main body. And we submit it in a hard copy, while the PVPI, which is at Ghaziabad, the body, that is a program which has been set, they have asked, to submit the PSURs to them, that periodic safety update reports. Similar for the cases what we receive at pharma companies, those are well analyzed. The proper report for every single case, the COMS form is created. COMS form is the, for example, you report any event like I am having a headache after taking medicine so and so, and you provide that information to your doctor. Doctor reported it to the company. Then company provide that information in their safety database. That information goes centrally. They are having the medical expert team. They prepare a report, and then that report comes to the country PV team, pharmacovigilance team. Every country, they receive the form. The country has their own regulations for submission of adverse events. If those are normal adverse events, if there are serious adverse events, the timelines are different. And then accordingly, they have to submit it to these health authorities. So in India, we are submitting to DCGI. In China, we submit it to their health authority. So the submission mode is also different. So these are like various internal factors which also needs to be considered by pharma companies. So as I rightly told you, for post-marketing serious adverse events, we call it as spontaneous reports. So these needs to be submitted to the health authorities within 15 calendar days. So just imagine you submitting information to doctor on day 1, and the company entirely analyze the report and submit it to the health authority within 15 days. Yeah, after initial receipt of the case. And in clinical trial, it is within 14 calendar days. So the adverse event information in clinical trial, why? Because they do have a proper protocol, they have consent form, doctors, they do have a proper team to report the events, So the timeline is like this. Globally, we have European Medicines Agency, we call as MEMA, and they do have GVP modules. GVP module, like they also have created certain modules. I will not go into detail. This is just for your information. If you are interested, you can, do a Google search and go through it. So for every activities which are done at pharma companies, they have provided a proper guidance to follow. Similar way, how PVPI in India has provided a India-specific guidance to pharma companies. So this is just one document. If we have time, yeah, I will quickly talk about periodic safety update reports. How the report is, this is just one of the document out of all these various, documents which are generated by pharma companies after collating of the safety information of the product. So this PSUR is like document mainly created to provide an evaluation of benefit risk assessment of the product by marketing authorization holder. So in India, we do have a manufacturing companies kind of setup, and we also have a marketing authorization holder kind of setup. For example, every company, they don't have manufacturing unit in the country, so they may outsource it to some other companies, but the final responsibility of the safety evaluation information collation lies with the license holder of that product. And the main objective of that periodic safety update report is mainly, to provide that analyze report to the health authority on real-time basis to check, benefit risk assessment throughout the life cycle, and, to reevaluate the risk benefit balance, and, throughout the life cycle of the medicinal product to promote the protect public health and to enhance patient safety through effective risk minimization measures. So every company, they do also have to take care of risk minimization measures if there are certain risk factors which might be observed related to the product. So, when any department, they write this periodic safety update report, how they have to start this report. This is just a glimpse. Like they have to plan when to submit, when is the launch date of the product in my market. So in India, we have a bit weird thing. Usually all other countries follow international birth date, means first time when product is marketed in anywhere in the world, that is the international birth date of the product. However, in India, we have to follow the cycle of PSUR preparation when product is first time launched in Indian market. We never follow IBD. There might be a coincidence if IBD is same as the product launch date in India, but if there is a difference, then the companies in India, they have to actually plan their PSUR preparation from the product when it is launched in India. So the difference from IBD, that is first time when product was launched in other country, that bridging information, they can provide it to the health authorities separately. Then to prepare this document, we have to collate the information from various stakeholders like marketing team, medical team, regulatory team, because the information is not specific only to know information from the market. It is from the clinical trials. It is from the other countries where clinical trials are getting conducted. Or if product is already marketed in other market, if there are any safety concerns observed, then those needs to be reported in our own country as well. So these are all, factors which needs to be considered. So PSUR submission, as I have told you, we have to do it to different bodies, that is DCGI and PVPI. And this PSUR, we have to start submitting when the product is launched in India. From that date, after 6 months for 2 years, every 6 months for 2 years, and then yearly for next 2 years. So 4 years, we have to prepare this PSUR. And these are like content of PSUR, like these are various sections which are prepared in the PSUR, which are collated from various departments, like patient exposure data we used to calculate and provide it. So this is how, these are all sections. I will not go into detail. I just wanted to give you a glimpse how this document looks like. So yes. And then at the end, very important thing which we have to do is we have to provide a benefit risk evaluation of the product, wherein we have to provide a conclusion whether this product is safe, whether there is any risk. If risk, then what are the risk minimization factors which company has considered. So as I have rightly told, in multinational companies, there are various teams with whom this pharmacovigilance team has to coordinate and prepare this document finally. Like, marketing team, medical team, regulatory team, right? So, and to prepare this document, we only have 30 days. So there is a data lock point from where this document needs to be prepared. So immediately needs to collate the data from various stakeholders, need to prepare the document. The document needs to be reviewed by expert team and then needs to be approved and then needs to be submitted to the health authority. So this is a last quiz for you. What is timeline for submitting PSUR to Indian Health Authority? In the slide, it was there. Just the previous one.
Yes, we received a response from Alia Noori. That is 1 month.
Yes, perfect. So as I have rightly told you, within 30 days, we have to submit this document. So you can just see, how important this function is and what all activities are getting performed over there. So this is all from my end, and handing it over to you. Have I stopped sharing my screen?
Not yet.
Can you just do it at your level?
Yeah, we'll try. Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Shreya. This has been a very informative as well as interactive session. I'm sure all the participants must have benefited from the same. Ms. Shreya has unfolded many and different activities which are done in pharmacovigilance in a very simple way. She has also explained it with a lot of examples which a common man can understand. Definitely the pharmacist and the pharmacy faculty can understand. She also spoke about Indian Health Organization, which is quite complicated. She also spoke about many past post monitoring serious unexpected adverse effect reporting, which is very, very important, which is the importance of that is very much, and that is what she has explained in her talk. May I ask the participants if you have any queries or questions? Otherwise, we can go to the next speaker. Participants, if you have any questions, please you can post it in the chat box. I don't see any questions. That shows that your talk was self-explanatory. Shreya, if you have any questions or queries, we will definitely post it to you if you allow us to do so.
Yes, yes. So if you have any questions, any queries, please reach out to me. My number is there with you.
Yes.
And I would be happy to, help support our team or, our students, future pharmacovigilance team members. If anyone would like to join,
We would like to have your live talk in
as
front of
well, we also, yeah. Sorry.
we have the faculty in the webinar, but we would like to have people here to talk to our students so that there will be direct interaction with the students and they will be definitely benefited and inspired also after your talk to join people.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Shreya. It was so nice to have you.
Same here. Bye.
Thank you, Dr. Shreya. Thanks a lot for your time. It was a
Thank you
wonderful
so
talk.
much.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, bye.